Yo, check out this clip from the pre-patch podcast.
This is the game of the year. For recognizing the game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. The nominees were A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, which won the category for the Game Awards, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Go ahead. Who wants to take the first? Who wants to take the first dive in?
I'll just go because I really don't have a whole lot else to say about it. I think we've pretty much, with that last one, spoke volumes for it. I think Elden Ring 100% deserved this. I think they deserved it 100,000% over God of War. And I think that I think that Game of Year was chosen it was a good pick. Good pick, 100%. I think that Elden Ring deserved it. So
I agree. I think Elden Ring deserves it, man. With everything that we've said and we've gone through, and I'm happy to see Elden Ring take this over God of War.
You gotta look at it like legitimately. The only thing bad that we've ever had to say this entire podcast about Elden Ring is that their multiplayer was shit when it released.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a very rare thing nowadays. Just a game to come out with like not that many flaws. Like if the only thing that they have wrong is their multiplayer and co-op, and they still have a playable game, that's a win for games nowadays. So yeah, Elden Ring.
Absolutely. Elden Ring, it's a game that I built my channel heavily on, and it's one that not only myself, but a lot of the gaming community really came together on. This was the start to the gaming year that I think the gaming community really needed after the drought that was 2021. And I just found it interesting that there were so many people outside of the action RPG genre that picked this game up and decided that they were going to spend a couple weeks playing through it because it does take that long to experience this game, even in a partial state. Yeah,
well, it's like me. Like I've never played a Dark Souls game. Like I've never liked Dark. I mean, I've played them, but I've never liked them. Right? I picked this game up, took to it like a fish in water, man. Like 100% was like, this is great. I love it. This is what Dark Souls should have been. You know,
yeah, man.
To me personally. Again, I've never really been into Dark Souls, but like this one was definitely one of those games that I was like, yeah, I can see why people are all about this. You know,
right. And as far as God of War goes, I feel like I'm not as adverse to it as what you guys are. Maybe that's because I have gotten hands-on time with it and I finished it and I'm still continuing to play it. I think it did a great job. And I do think it was innovative in the ways that it pushed cinematic style gaming forward. I think on a gameplay aspect, there was nothing special to it compared to the 2018. But on a cinematic and storytelling level, with the technology that being a Sony exclusive, it can get away with because it's made specifically for that console.
That's what I was about to say is you got to look at it like this, right? Like when it comes to Elden Ring, when I was looking at my game of the year, when I was saying, okay, yes, I want to choose Elden Ring, right? I took into consideration a lot of things. I took into consideration the fact that I have never played a Soulsborne game. And I took into this game, or I started this game and was just instantly hooked, right? I looked at the fact that the game is fun. The puzzles and the difficulty were not overly so that I was like, this is just bashing my face into a wall, right? And then I looked at the innovation from their previous iterations, right? So Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 compared to what they gave us in Elden Ring, right? And then I looked at God of War and I was like, okay, I expect God of War and Sony to give me amazing storytelling and amazing, what's it called?
Graphics
And the in between like cinematics, right? I expect that from Sony. That's expected. That's just expected, right? They didn't innovate on the game at all. Like there was nothing that changed between 2018 and this release gameplay wise that I was like, okay, that's cool. That's great. And we talked about this a couple times on other podcasts where I was just like, I think that they really kind of dropped the ball on a lot of things. Like they could have went a lot of directions with God of War and Ragnarok with Kratos, right? And I like the fact that they started bringing in his son a little bit more, but I don't think that that was enough to make it Game of the Year.
That's fair.
That's a great game. Like it's 100% a great game.
Yeah. You know, what I would say about this is I think for gamers this year specifically, it was a really good year for gaming when you're talking about indies and all of these things. And I want to make sure that, like, because I do, like, I feel like, you know, I feel like A Plague Tale Requiem is like staring me in the eyes and just being like, why are you not picking me? You've got Stray staring me in the eyes. Why? I mean, Elden Ring, obviously, I think is the clear-cut winner here for sure. We've all dumped a lot of hours into it.
I feel bad for Plague Tale. I really do. I think if it would have came out last year, it would have swept the Game Award.
That's what I was about to say. Is I think if it would have been in its own category without Elden Ring and God of War there, it might have been able to do something.
I don't think Plague won a single award, did it not?
No.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So that's what I kind of want to end this on, is by saying, yes, Elden Ring is what we've all chosen, but ultimately every single one of these games, love it or hate it, whether you like cats or not, whether you like, you know, the poor writing that was, you know, the narrative in Horizon Forbidden West, some of the dialogue stuff, all of them had their faults, but all of them were phenomenal experiences. Like it just go play. If one of these games calls you, go play it and enjoy the of it. And that's the thing that's amazing about
I actually really do want to play Plague Tale. Like it's on Xbox Game Pass, and I think I'm gonna load it up and give it a go.
Did you play the first one?
I haven't played the first one. Yeah, I wish that it was on Xbox Game Pass. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's guys, go play these games. Like they're all great. Every single one that we talked about, all of these ones that are nominated here, go and try them out. Like especially with things like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and whatever else, man. There's ways for you to play these games without having to buy them, you know, and you can experience. Go play them. They're all phenomenal. They all like every single developer in here should be walking out with their head held high. So yes, game of the year for me is Elden Ring as well. Out of these, I mean, I can't really think of anything else that I put more time into this year and enjoyed more that has come out this year. So. But that's it, guys. That's the show. That is the
real fast. I think it's my turn now. I would like to nominate this award to my deformed, unorthodox rabbit, Billy the Squid.
I'm gonna give you full camera.
Thank you.
Wait, Bill turned into a rabbit? What?
Thank you. All right, let me get out of here.
Goodness gracious.
Why do I have to tell them thanks and goodbye? That's not my fault. They weren't there live when we did this. We do it live all the time on YouTube, and they can go and check it out on their favorite podcast app as well as on Spotify. We give them all the opportunity. It's in my contract. Oh my God. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Go check out the patch notes. And next time, why don't you join us when we do this live so I don't have to tell you thank you again? Is that good? We're good? Okay, good. I'm going home.